Welcome back to Cheddar, everyone. NFT Mania is here. A record $69 million was paid for an NFT on Thursday. Mike Winkelmann, the digital artist known as Beeple, sold his digital artwork at Christie's auction house. His piece, called Every Days, the first 5,000 days, has become the third most valuable work by a living artist sold at auction, and the first time Christie's has sold a purely digital artwork. The buyer, a crypto investor known as Metakovan. Joining us now is Noah Davis, who's the specialist in post-war and contemporary art at Christie's. Noah, great to have you here with us on the day. Help us explain this a little bit more. Going to take this moment to remind our viewers exactly what an NFT is, or a non-fungible token is. Take us into the process of deciding whether or not to auction off a purely digital piece of art.
Sure thing. So a non-fungible token is essentially a long series of letters and numbers. It is a specific code. It is a block on the chain. In this case, it is a block on the chain in the Ethereum blockchain. The NFT is held in what's known as a digital wallet. And right now, it is in the process of being transferred to the wallet owned and operated by our winning bidder, Metakovan. We decided to hold this auction because it just honestly was inevitable that we would enter this space where the virtual and the real kind of collided and then became one, right? I think that this last year in the pandemic, we all were preparing for this mentally in some way or another. And it was just the right place and the right time.
I think about how this can add an extra layer of security and authenticity to the broader art industry and the art world internationally, as we do know that this would essentially say that this is the only authentic piece of this work, and that would essentially take some of the concern out from counterfeiting in this broader market, where you did previously have transitions in logistical challenges that presented themselves for some pieces of art. And correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're positively right. I mean, the blockchain does not lie. It's designed so that it cannot lie. It solves for so much more than just authenticity concerns, though, too. I probably would have expected, if I'm being honest, that blockchain technology would have been utilized in the art at auction field more as a kind of clerical device first, rather than an actual collectible category, because its ability to store and save information is unlike any other technology that exists. It's indelible, right?
Sure. So this Beeple piece, it sold for $69 million. What did you think it would sell for?
I had no idea. We published actually a very unorthodox estimate. It was sort of the anti-estimate. Typically, Christie's gives a dollar range, a low and a high, or we roll out this very prestigious estimate on request. In the case of this lot, we published estimate unknown, and that was actually the first thing that I had to get cleared by our legal department, amongst many other things, in preparing for this sale. But I really do believe that throughout the process, that held true. The estimate was unknown. We went from a $100 starting bid to $1 million in a little more than 8 minutes. The kind of activity and bidding, the frenzy around this lot is like nothing I have ever seen in art at auction before.
And so how do you think this will transform the way that auctions are run in the future?
Well, I think that auctions have been around for a very, very long time. I mean, Christie's is one of the oldest operating firms on the planet. I don't think that auctions of physical art are going anywhere. But it does mean that there is a new space where art auction houses can operate, and it's a purely digital space. Our traditional art at auction audience is already getting up to speed with online bidding, and certainly the last year, when we were conducting almost exclusively all of our business online, was a crash course for them. But this is just another dimension for us. I don't think that this is going to replace contemporary art or just eclipse the blue chip art category completely, but it will definitely supplement it.
I think we're looking at a video right now of Beeple's reaction, and I mean, suffice to say, he's surprised by the price. And so
Yeah.
for purely digital pieces, how do you go about in the future getting the pricing right, even if it is auction and the market will do what it wants at that point and it will settle itself? How do you even estimate what a start price should be?
That's a really great question. I mean, the typical way we do that with art at auction is we look at the comparables that have been up before. And if we don't have comparables, then we're citing primary prices from artist galleries or the prices we're aware of at artist studios. It's actually very rare to have a new artist come to auction. And when that does happen, it means that there's tremendous demand for that artist that the primary market can't satisfy. With NFT-based artwork, I expect most of the consignments are going to be coming to us directly from the artists. And so determining that value is going to be a challenge and interesting, and probably will require a different approach. We can't always publish estimate unknown. And I think for certain NFT collectibles, such as CryptoPunks, we're starting to develop an index where we can cite previous and recent results to establish a value and a reliable estimate. But truly, for most of these NFT-based artworks who are coming to auction, or artists who are coming to auction for the very first time, it's going to be a very interesting process. I don't think it's been defined yet.
Do you believe that this will create a subsidiary for Christie's where you have solely NFT-based auctions, or that is the only criteria or parameters that a specific auction is running for, and then you have your more traditional way of operating with some of the pieces that, of course, you're still going to have bidders from around the world going after, just as you've done for years and decades now. And so, does that create a new way of thinking and kind of categorizing, if you will?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question. We don't have any plans right now to completely move NFTs out from underneath the umbrella of post-war and contemporary art. It very much is contemporary art. My focus for the very near future, for the very immediate future, is going to be almost exclusively NFT centric. I think that we are going to bring amazing programming. We don't have anything we can announce right now, but obviously very many amazing leads have come our way in the wake of this truly historic sale. So the future is being written in real time. We are building the plane while we're flying it, and I couldn't be more thrilled and excited to see where we wind up.
No, we got to go. But does that change the commission structure and the revenue that Christie's would see?
Well, yeah, in the sense that the costs, the overhead for an NFT is so much less than a physical art object.
Sure.
There's no shipping involved. There's no insurance. All of those things add up. It will be really interesting to see as our business, handles a higher volume of NFTs, what kind of effect that has on our margins.
Right.
But certainly, this was a very profitable deal.
No, could talk about this all day, honestly. It's so fascinating. Great to have your insights. Noah Davis, who's a specialist in post-war and contemporary art over at Christie's, joining us here today, talking about all the nifties, the NFTs, whatever you're calling in your hood, just call them hot right now.